Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Prize Picks video. This one we're talking about the WNBA for Thursday, June 27th. We're going to talk about the later games in this one. So we have 4 picks for you. Stay tuned to hear all 4 of them. If you guys want more picks, I do post more in the private Discord along with 5+ other cappers posting in here. You can see yesterday hit on some soccer picks. Hit on an underdog slip even though Crawford got rebooted. Had a monster hit over the weekend as well with MLB WNBA combination here on a 5-pick slip. Another one of our cappers, Volo, has been hitting in the WNBA and in the MLB. You can see Bossman has been crushing the NBA as well. Hit a 3-pick slip that he posted and a 2-pick slip. Went 5-0 on the day. On Tuesday also hit another WNBA slip and has picks up for today. So definitely check it out. We'll see you in the private Discord for more of my picks. Plus you guys saw all those big wins from our cappers posting, giving out picks on Prizepicks and Underdog. So definitely get over there to check out how we've been winning and hitting all these slips in all sports, focusing on WNBA and MLB especially, and PGA as well. I didn't mention we have a capper going crazy in PGA, but let's get into this one. If you guys do want more of those picks, they are down below. For the first one, I'm going to Elijah Boston, and I'm going to go over on her points at 15.5 against Seattle. Somewhat of a tougher matchup here, but really like the way she's been playing with Caitlyn Clark, with Clark distributing, Boston having some really big nights. So I think she's going to have another big one here with Clark. So liking this and that pairing that we're going to get into in a second. Looking at Elijah Boston over here on the season, she has only gone over this in 6 of 18 games, but her last 5 games she has really been coming on strong and has gone for 18 or more in 4 of 5 of them. We've also seen the minutes pick up earlier in the season. Looks like the first 10 games there was only a couple where she played over 30. Now, unless it's a blowout game, she's playing a ton of minutes, 36 plus in 3 of her last 4 games. So the minutes are up, points are up. We love to see that, and I think she's going to be in for another big game here with the Fever and Caitlyn Clark. I'm going to hit this one. Last season, she actually hit this at a 50% rate, so she is, a pretty big-time scorer here, and I think it actually has made her better now that she has that connection with Clark on the court. So liking her in this spot. Indiana also has been playing better as a whole, so Boston and also Clark have been suffering from some blowout games where they play limited minutes because they are getting blown out, but been playing better as of late. So I think this is one we can go to where she's going to be in line for a nice game here. For the next one, we're going to Caitlyn Clark over on her assists at 6.5. This is a line she's been smashing lately, and honestly, she should have even more assists watching some of these games and the highlights. She will throw perfect passes that should be assists, and the players are just dropping them. So hopefully they're figuring out how to play with Caitlyn Clark a little better here. But just a massive assist game in the last one. If you look at her on this season, she's gone over this in just 8 of 18 games, but 13 in the last one, 7 before that, 6, 9, 6. So she's been right there around 7, and I think this is going to be a good spot for her with Boston where she can hit this one. She hasn't been having the massive scoring games, but the assists definitely have been there, and she's been doing really well in that department. So I think pairing her with Boston where she could hook her up with some assists, definitely a good play here. The minutes also, like I said, have been up when we looked at Boston as well. Her minutes are up, so you can see Clark in her last 5 games. She's played at least 34 minutes in each of them with 40 in the last one. And earlier in the season, 30 minutes, 27, 28, 28, 22 in some blowout games. So they've been playing better, not getting blown out. And for Clark, we can also see these games where she's played more minutes, the hit rate on this goes up. So when she plays at least 28 minutes, it's an 8 of 16 hit rate. When she plays at least 33, she's hit this in 6 of 11. And then when she plays 35 or more, it's a 5 of 8 hit rate. So I think she's going to be in line for those big minutes like we have been seeing in the last games here where she's played around 36 minutes per game. So liking her on this one to hit with Boston. I think a good pairing we can go to. For the next one, going to Kelsey Plum on the over of 16.5 points. I think a lower line than we've seen in the past few weeks for her. This one was up at 17.5, even 18.5. So good line and a good matchup against Chicago for her. And she's a pretty big time scorer in the league, plays very consistent minutes, which is nice as well for going to her props, because you can count on her to play pretty consistent mid to low 30s of minutes. So you can see on the season, it's a 71% hit rate for her. Hasn't been hitting it as of late, but definitely has been playing in some interesting games here. This one she missed by a half point, and then this one was kind of a blowout where Vegas actually got blown out, and just no one really had a good game on Vegas. So take that one out and then say that this one was, a half a point away here. Her hit rate is definitely going to be even higher on it. And in that game, she played 32 minutes, which actually is a season low for her, 32, which has been good to see. Got back up in the last two games to 34 minutes, and pretty consistent playing 32 or more minutes, which is really great. And then coming up to look at last year, this was a 61% hit rate for her as well, especially at the end of the season. It was just kind of a struggle in the beginning of the season, but went on a crazy streak of hitting this like 12 games in a row at one point. So definitely liking this one for Plum to have a nice bounce back game. I think this one's supposed to be a high scoring game, and I think Chicago can keep it close, where Plum's going to have to get up a lot of shots and score a good amount of points. So liking Plum to go to this over on her points. Finally, we're going to go to an early game pick, and actually this one already bumped, but I did post it in the private Discord. In my channel, you can see here it's already posted at 22.5 points plus rebounds for the members of the private Discord, so I do post more in there, plus the 5+ cappers, and post these videos ahead of time. But we're still going to go to this one for an early game pick at 23.5 points plus rebounds. Definitely a tough matchup here, scoring-wise, but Howard's been playing extremely well, and I think with the added bonus of her rebounding, picking up again in a great spot for rebounders, I think this is one that you could target for the early game. If you are watching this earlier, you probably already know the outcome, but this one was bumped to 23.5. You can see on the season, she's only played in 4 games, but still coming on strong in the last two, 26-8 and 19-5 in her last 2 games. Against Minnesota, they allowed the 11th most rebounds, only the 2nd most points. I think she's going to have a bigger rebounding game after getting, just 8 boards, 6, 3, and then 13 in the first game. I think she's in for a big rebounding bounce back spot here, but also the scoring has been there, so I like going to this combo. Like I said, it did get bumped up a little bit, but I think also the minutes are creeping back. She played 30 minutes in a closer game in the last one. The one before was a blowout. She only played 22. In this one, she only played 20. Coming back was probably on a minutes restriction here, but I think the minutes are starting to get it back up to over 30 in what should be a close game. Looking at last year, this was just a 48% hit rate for her, but when playing over 30 minutes, which you could show here by playing at least 30, it was a 61% hit rate. I think she's going to be in for over 30 minutes in this game after playing over 30 in the last one and having a really nice game. So liking her for the last pick here. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. You could see some of my wins and posts from the private Discord in my channel. I do post a lot more picks in there in all sports. You can see Volo bets hitting in the MLB as well as the WNBA. I also mentioned that we have a PGA guy in the private Discord if you guys are into that. He was absolutely crushing the last tournament. The next one's starting up. He's got some picks in there already, along with Mike C, who's been crushing in the WNBA with his picks. Went 5-0 earlier in this week with WNBA picks. So definitely get in there. We'll see you over in the private Discord and subscribe to the channel.